In the early 1330s, an outbreak of the Bubonic Plague occurred in England that lasted until about 1350. The plague, also called the Black Death, was so named because one of the main symptoms was a painful swelling of the lymph gland called buboes. Also, black spots appeared on the skin that looked kind of like bruises. The first carriers of the disease were rodents, however fleas spread it to humans. 200 million people, or one-third of Europe's population, were killed by the disease in just under 20 years. Each day, 7,500 men, women, and children died.
Have you seen a doctor?
I have not seen a doctor.
No, I have not either.
Useless! During the Middle Ages, there were very few doctors, and any doctors that could be found were not located in any of the small towns, only the large cities. So, a lot of times, citizens frantically searched for doctors while their children and loved ones were dying.
Nobody's seen a doctor, now my baby's dead. She's dead.
Many of the medicines that exist today had not been discovered during the Middle Ages. There was little medical knowledge, so a majority of the medicine was based on astrology and religion. Most people believed that any person who got sick was being punished by God for their sinful behavior. Because of this belief, many sick people were shunned by their families and left to die. Some victims of illness believed that if they inflicted pain on themselves, it would prove their love to God and cure them. However, these people often ended up whipping themselves to death. Once a baby was born, the doctor told the parents what the baby should avoid based on their astrological sign. For example, Scorpios should avoid any injuries to the groin or anus, while Aries should avoid any incisions to the head and neck. For the bubonic plague, the only treatment besides herbal potions was bloodletting.
Can you do anything about it? As a father, I am forced to say this. He might be dying. He has the Bubonic Plague. We have to let his blood.
Doctors believed that the Black Death was caused by bad blood in the body. A vein was cut or leeches were attached to drain the bad blood. Doctors would then bandage the cut and send the patient home. Most patients died of blood loss because the bandage did not stop the bleeding. Many people didn't know how to react to the plague. Some people stayed inside their house, refusing to come out. Others tried to spend as much time with other people in case they did get the disease. Other people tried to find ways to kill themselves in fear of getting the disease. Cities and towns became chaos as citizens fought for food, often eating dead animals or on the ground. The bubonic plague killed thousands of people each day. Because of the rate of death, funerals no longer took place. Instead, dead bodies were piled up in the streets. When the piles got too high, they were set on fire. Children played games in the street. The song Ring Around the Rosie was created by children playing around dead bodies. Each line represents a different part of the plague. Ring Around the Rosie meant that the children held hands and formed a circle around all the dead bodies. Rosie was the color of the skin. Each body had a pocket full of posy to prevent the smell to spread. And ashes to ashes meant that there were ashes all over the street from burning dead bodies. We all fall down meant that everyone was dying.